And we are back here at ESPN's Wide World of Sports, Brave Spring Training 2019 from 680 The Fan. I'm Kevin McAlpin. Glad to have you with us wherever you are, whether it's back in Atlanta or anywhere else across Braves country. We are back here at ESPN's Wide World of Sports in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. Braves taking on the New York Mets. Hopefully, we're going to keep our fingers crossed. As you can see above me here, clouds are starting to roll in. The forecast this afternoon is not good. We've only seen a little bit of rain since we got here 2 weeks ago today, but rain in the forecast both today and tomorrow, and we'll keep our fingers crossed the Braves can get this Grapefruit League game in against the New York Mets this afternoon. It will be the young left-hander Sean Newcomb on the mound for the Braves, Corey Oswalt for the Mets. We'll tell you all about that one in just a moment, what to look for, and also a good update on shortstop Dansby Swanson. We'll get to all that in just a moment. But if you missed yesterday's game, Braves got in the win column for the first time in the new year. A big win over the Washington Nationals. The offense took a couple innings for him to get going, but who else? Freddie Freeman, a long two-run homer off the scoreboard out there in right field. As you can see, it's lit up blue. Yesterday, I had a picture of his face on it. He actually hit that home run off his face on the scoreboard. So if you've been here to Disney, you know that's not a cheapie. That is a long one in only your second Grapefruit League at-bat of the season. As I threw out there on Twitter yesterday, I think Freddie's ready. And all kidding aside, Freddie needs about 30 at-bats to really be ready for the regular season. But something he talked about yesterday was his workout plan in the offseason. Spent a lot of time working out with Danny Espinosa. You'll remember Danny, a longtime Washington National. He's also bounced around to a couple of other organizations. Those two guys worked out a lot together this past offseason. He said he feels stronger than he has the last few years coming into camp. And by all indications, in his second at-bat, that's a pretty darn good way to start things out. So Freddie Freeman, a two-run homer. Also a big bases-clearing two-run double from Christian Pache. Alex Jackson also drove in two with a double down the left field line. So the Braves got a win yesterday against the Nationals. They'll look to make it two in a row. Max Fried, for his first outing, gives up one unearned run. That was a passed ball in the first inning. He had a 1-2-3 second inning, much more quick, much more efficient Max Fried in that second inning, and a lot of guys in that clubhouse were really raving about the stuff they saw from the Braves' young southpaw yesterday. And it's funny to take you inside the clubhouse and give you a little behind-the-scenes look at what we see on a daily basis. We were actually in the clubhouse in the middle of the game yesterday. We were talking to Max Fried when Freddie Freeman hit that homer off the scoreboard, and a couple of different Braves veterans sitting at their lockers, they just start shaking their head. They say, this guy is unbelievable. They're still trying to get their timing down. He's hitting long two-run bombs 425 feet to right field. So again, good to see Freddie Freeman with a two-run homer, and like I said, he'll need 30 to 35 at-bats, and trust me, he'll be plenty ready for March 28th when the Braves take on the Phillies up in Philadelphia. Hey, we did get some good news also yesterday on Dansby Swanson. If you missed this, of course, Swanson had that left wrist injury rather, at the end of last season. He had that surgical procedure. He's been a little bit behind here during camp. He hadn't taken live BPs up until a couple of days ago, but the good news, he's been taking live BPs. He's been doing normal batting practice. He's been fielding grounders, running the bases, everything you'd expect him to do, and he will be in the Braves starting lineup on Friday. Good news there that we will see Dansby Swanson start his Grapefruit League session on Friday. Same can be said about Josh Donaldson, and no injury concerns for Josh, but the Braves wanted to just take things a little bit slower with him given the season he's coming off of and that calf and shoulder issue. So Donaldson and Dansby Swanson will be in the Braves lineup on Friday here at Disney. As for what to look for today, again, as I mentioned, Sean Newcomb will likely go 2 innings today in his spring debut. Newcomb really being viewed at in a much bigger way here in 2019. You recall he was a middle to bottom of the order rotation kind of guy the last couple of years. Well, the Braves probably right now have him penciled in as their #2 starter. So a lot more will be asked and expected of Sean Newcomb here in 2019, and I know he's feeling up to that challenge. So, you know, it'd be great to see him put together a full season this year. You'll recall he had that near no-hitter against the Dodgers last year, and just wasn't the same guy down the stretch, and I think it was as much mental as it was physical fatigue for Sean Newcomb a year ago. So he goes today. We will see Freddie Freeman back in the lineup, as with Ender Inciarte as well. Those two regulars will be in there. We will not see Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies. They took the long bus trip on Sunday down to West Palm, and they were here yesterday, so no need for those guys to go 3 in a row here in late February, so those guys will have the day off. Also expected to see some more of the regulars at some point next week. We will see Nick Markakis early next week, and he's actually on the field doing some agility drills behind us. But again, as Snit pointed out yesterday, with only a couple of days of full squad workouts, these veteran guys, he wants to ease them in to play, and he's been open and honest with all of them. They all know what exactly their plan is for this spring as far as playing time goes. So again, Braves and the Mets, Newcomb on the mound for the Braves today. It's a 1 o'clock first pitch. And again, stay with us on 680thefan.com, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'll put out there where you can find the games each and every day. Ben Ingram and Don Sutton have the call of today's action. Great to see Don back here yesterday. And of course, Don getting a chance to jump right in the deep end, calling that Freddie Freeman 2-run homer. So again, Ben and Don with the call. 1 o'clock, Braves and Mets here from Champion Stadium. Again, for 680 The Fan's continuing coverage of Braves spring training, I'm Kevin McAlpin.